What is up, guys? This is Keith Jamison, go by Gator Guy 231 across the DFS industry, and this is a Tuesday edition of the Korean baseball preview for Wednesday morning slate, guys. I'm going to eventually get this right that it's not today, that it's technically tomorrow's slate. But I'm joined by Pete and Andrew of the site. They handle all of our baseball content. Guys, how are y'all doing today?
I'm doing fine. Another day.
So Pete, talk to me about what you were doing with the tilt of the walk-off. Did you almost get a takedown last night, or this morning, I mean? Yeah,
I was close to the $27, $33. I think first and 27, and that walk-off pushed me down to fifth. So, still had a good night.
Yeah,
but
man.
It could have been better. Cashed all the double ups, though.
You're sniffing a big one here soon, so hopefully
it's coming.
Hopefully this primer will kick you off. And Andrew, how you been doing? Grinding out the cash over on FanDuel and a little bit on DK?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good, man. Well, guys, I'm happy to have you both. We are going to change up the format. I got a lot of feedback that we've had so many dang similar names that it's been hard to track down, like the position and everything. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to go about position by position. Each one of the guys is going to has a position category and is going to break down some of their top picks. At the end, we're going to do top pitcher, top batter, and top stack from each of the three of us. And hopefully everybody will it'll be easier to follow along than it's been. So with that, we're just going to jump right in. I'm going to go hitters first, and then I'll wrap us up with pitching and the top picks. So I want to start at catcher, Andrew. Anybody you got your eye on?
There's only one guy that actually – we have all right-handed pitchers, so there's only one guy with the splits tonight, and that would be the guy from the Bears, Se-Hook Park. So he's decent, but I think he's against a decent pitcher. You can play all the way up. Yang on NC, he actually was out of the lineup yesterday, but he came in. The note on DK said that he has like a hamstring problem, but they think he was just resting. But he did come in at the end of the game, have a couple of bats. He looks fine. Who I really like tonight, I think, is Sungwoo Jang from KT. He's got 2 home runs on the season, 10 RBIs, 8 hits. So he's only 2,900. So I think that's a pretty good he bats 8th. Most of these catchers are pretty far down. The other guy that kind of sticks out to me too is Lee Ji Young from K1. He bats 6th. He's 3,600. So,
yeah, I think you might have hit on just from looking at the logs. Your Sungwoo Jang at 2,900, 19, 25, and 19 past 3 games. That'll do for 2,900.
Yeah.
All right, so going over to first base, Pete. Who we eyeing?
All right, I just first of all doing some chalk plays for ownership. I think right now we have Hwan Kim at $4,800. He's going to be probably the highest owned first baseman, and we got Jose Fernandez at 29% around. He's 5,300. I could let Bega talk about him at second base though, as he's probably more of a second baseman in DFS. So honestly, my play tonight is probably going to be going on the limb with Jamie Romack. He's slumping. He's 2 for his last 15 at bats, I believe, but he's due to come around. I was just reading a stat. I think he's one of the obviously one of the best hitters in the last 3 or 4 years. So he's only one of 9 players with a WOBA over 400 over in the 1,000 at bats. So he's obviously due. So tonight may be the night. And once again, my value would have to be Robbie Ramos, and he's still under 3,000 at 2,900. Another dong last night. So he's almost a given. I'm not even caring right now about splits or handness. The guy just hitting the ball. If you look at a slash line from AAA, he's definitely in play at 2,900 for LG.
Yeah, that's a great call. I was thinking 18, 30, and 13 his last 3. I would actually argue he might even be your chalk guy when people see him in the build. Where is he hitting in the order? Do you know?
He's been in cleanup, I believe, right? Probably or third.
That's wild. That's tough to pass on. I love it. So rest of the infield, Andrew, you want to start us off? And actually, before you do that, I should have worded the odds earlier. So you can find all these on our cheat sheet online. It's free for everybody to see. But we have actually three really big favorites. Kim Woom, minus 208. Dusan minus 164, and the Dinos minus 172. So do think that all three of those are going to be kind of like where Pete and Andrew both mentioned where a lot of the ownership is going to be. So I'll kick it to you, Andrew, for second base. Who are we looking at?
Well, Pete did mention Fernandez. He's a top price guy, 52. I mean, you definitely get what you pay for there. I don't know if I'm going to go with him tonight. I think I'd drop down 1,000. I think one of my favorite teams tonight is going to be NC. They're playing against a pitcher, Cuevas. He's got a 10.8 ERA. Like, he had a horrible first start, and a lot of things don't point in the right direction for him. So leading off is Min-Woo Park, left-hander against him, 4,200. So I like him there. One of my favorite guys to play too, and he's down in the order, so I don't think people play him. Third base eligibility, 3,300 is C. Kim from SK. The guy's got 5 steals on the season. I mean, he's stealing bases like really, really well. So those points add up fast if you want to take a different approach. And then you did mention that I believe Kiwoom is a pretty decent favorite tonight. They have a leadoff hitter, Case Seo, SEO. 2,700 lefty versus Buchanan, who looks like a kind of a gas can. So there's a great matchup there for a really decent price.
Yeah, I love that. And you know, your guy. I was just quickly looking as you were talking about it, but your oh geez, I lost it. Who was the second baseman with the steals? I lost it.
Kim Chang, Pyung for SK.
Okay. But when I was looking at pretty much every single time he's been on base, he's stolen. He's gotten steals. So it seems like the infield version of a Billy Hamilton.
But he doesn't strike out as much.
There you go.
I mean, but it's huge. You know, you get on and then the pressure and you get a run and all of a sudden he's already at value. So I love that call. What about at third base, where we obviously want a little bit more pop in our bats? Who are we looking at?
Jeong Choi, he's the top one there, 54. I like him against it's a righty on righty against LG, but he's been having a really good season so far. I like Jin Huk No. He is 3,100. He's a left-hander. He plays for NC. Again, I said I'm going to take some lefties against he also is at shortstop too, but he's down in the order, but he's having a really good season. Has 2 home runs, 8 RBIs, 9 hits, doing really well. And then the other guy I'd be looking at would be Jae-Jung Hwang, HWANG from KT.
Mm-hmm.
So again, home run, 4 RBIs, decent value. Where's he hitting? He's hitting, I believe, 6th in the order. So
like that.
Those are the guys I'll be looking at third.
Like it. And let's wrap us up in the infield with shortstop.
Shortstop. So a lot of these guys overlap in their infield, but again, not huge on Dusan tonight, but Jae-Ho Kim, he's one that I would consider from there. He's only 2,100, batting 6th. I mean, that's a really good value there. Not a lot of power, but he's got 10 hits, 3 RBIs, so it doesn't strike out much. And I like Joan Sim Woo from KTW there, leading off. I think he's only 2,300, I think, if I read that round. So he's pretty cheap. Machado's been doing well for Lot also, Lotte. He's got 3 home runs, 10 RBIs. I just don't like the fact that he hits so far down the order, 7th, but the production's definitely there. And the final guy that I'd mention would be for K-Woom again is Hai Sung Kim. I believe he's hit 2nd for them. So
nice. Yeah, and I think you kind of hinted on a lot of these infielders. There's definitely some value here because I know personally I'm going to be talking about some higher end pitchers. So it's really been really awesome to see that there's so many guys that DK really still hasn't priced up. Now you don't have to quote prices, but are a lot of these guys still underpriced on FanDuel? I know you play a lot over there.
It depends.
Okay.
It's weird on FanDuel because they're like single dollar amounts. It's kind of like soccer was. So your pitchers are like somewhere in the 20s, and then you have guys that are anywhere from like $16 to $5. So there's little variance. Like you have so many guys in like such a range that you might have $10 left over and you can pick 50 players. Where on DK, you maybe will pick like 10.
Okay, so it's just completely different construction.
That's a weird setup. The whole thing's a weird setup to me.
Yeah, I haven't gotten over to FanDuel, so I was just curious.
Pitching seems grossly underpriced because you're set up by team and it's by matchup. It's not by the individual. So there have been some great days where you've got an outstanding pitcher for bargain basement prices just because they're looking more at the matchup instead of the pitcher.
Right. Hey, it's all about exploiting that inefficiency. So good stuff. So Pete, why don't you finish us off with hitters with that deep outfield, as we know, always has tons of options.
All right. Yes, and it is tons of options. I'm going to give you 3 names. My first name, we're going to go up top. Probably the highest owned player of the night, in my opinion, Jae-Hwan Kim for Doosan, $5,000. He's got 9 hits in the last 4 games. Got a 4.17 average, 1.298 OPS. I mean, I was just looking at his stats. He's got a 4.23 WOBA since he came in the league in 2016, and he's a lefty, and he's got a nice righty matchup tonight. So, and he should stroke tonight. This should be. I'm the only thing I'm worried about. He's gonna be in the 30s, maybe 40% owned. So he's definitely a good chalk play. GPP. Maybe you might want to shy away. My second play is going to be, of course, every night I play Sun Bum Na with the Dinos, 3,800. For some reason, DK does not want to put this guy over 4,000. He's like Ramos. He did get injured last year. He was out most of the year, that leg injury. And before that, though, he's one of the best players in the league. So I will keep playing him every night until I'll pay him his $5,000. So I still think he's one of the best players in the league, and he's actually five hits out of his last 10 at bats.
Love that.
Yeah, exactly. He's one of the. I think he's one of the best players in the league. And another name I actually just found. I was digging around here. Is we got this Sung Yo Lee for Hanwha, and he's actually their cleanup hitter, and he's only $2,800.
Crazy. And
he's 4 for 8. He's 4 for his 8 last at bats, 5 for his last 12. So you give me a cleanup hitter, just 4 for his last 8 at bats, $2,800. He's in my lineup.
I like it, man. And I'm loving actually everything I'm hearing because I thought I was going to come on. I haven't built yet, but I thought I was going to come on. Mention 2 of the highest priced pitchers, and everybody goes, "Okay, Gator, you're screwing us here. Like, there's no way to fit it." But I'm getting kind of excited to go in and build that. This is going to work. So I'm going to talk really. I think the first one and probably the kind of to steal Pete's thunder, but one of the highest owned guys I think will be Mike Wright. We've mentioned when we've had these pods and videos that these major league pedigree guys, kind of is one of the first places we want to start. And in his first start, had 7 strikeouts in 5 innings. Love that he got 95 pitches in, and he's a -172 favorite. Third highest price pitcher on the slate. In my opinion, he's number 1 guy. So I think it's going to be the guy I lock and load. So Wante Choi -208, and he is sorry guys, I should have this. On Kim Woom, he's the biggest favorite on the site, -208. His strikeouts, kind of leave a little bit to be desired. Last year, about 6 strikeouts per 9, but that really super low ERA, 3.38. Already mentioned they're the biggest favorite on the slate versus Samsung, who just stink. So I think that, you get a little bit of security there, a little bit of a floor. I do doubt, 30-point ceiling. For those of you that have watched me long enough, that means he's going to hit 40. But I do think that it's worth maybe like a cash option if you can get there. My flyer guy is, it's really going to be the same I'm going to do all season, which is just kind of sorting by strikeouts and just seeing if we can get an outlier. But I think Jang Chi Huan for Hanwha, do like that he's one of the cheapest pitchers on the slate, 6,500. Did have 18 DK last time out. And, he's not a big dog by any means. It's a 1-0, they're plus 108. Kia is minus 127. It's the lowest total on the slate at just hovering about 9. So I think for 6,500, if you want to pay up for some bats, maybe get a couple of these stacks that y'all are going to bring up, that can make some sense. Any of y'all agree, disagree, or have other routes that you were thinking about yourselves?
I actually agree with you.
Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for your bankroll tonight, Pete.
The only pitcher I would maybe throw in there too, just because I had luck with him last week, is Ricardo Pinto for SK 7,900. But I do he's not gonna be one of my top main picks. So yeah, I agree with you. I agree with Wright.
I like it. Andrew?
I'm a little hesitant on Wright. I love the team. I love the matchup. He's a career reliever and still getting stretched out. No way on FanDuel. He's the most expensive pitcher. Again, it's based on who the team is, not who the pitcher is specifically. I do like Choi. I think that he had a really rough first outing. I think it was just rust. He gave up most of the runs in the first inning, but then he seemed to settle in and do very well. And I completely agree with you with the bargain pitcher too, the Hanwha Eagle guy, Zhang. Definitely looked decent in his first start. FanDuel, I think he's only $23. He's a really good play there. I think he's probably my favorite one for cash. And if you need the money on DK, I think he's definitely a good play for that too.
I like it. The only thing I'm going to fight you on with Wright, because I thought the same way, but seeing the 95 pitches, because I saw the 5 innings and I went, oh crap. I did see the 95 pitches. And okay, I'm starting to think back in MLB and, only the top guys you're really seeing go 105, 110. So I felt okay about it, but I definitely understand where you're coming from. All right.
Yeah, it gives up a little power too, like 1.5 home runs for 9. So, I mean, that's not horrible. But
Dan Straley can look like freaking Justin Verlander out there. Mike Wright
I still refuse to play him.
Dude, I might just have to take Dan Straley's face off. But it's just not going to be good for me long term. But let's wrap it up with some top picks. So let's do this. We'll go. Each one of us mention the position, and then we'll get out of here. So
you want to stack?
Mike Wright for me. Pete, who you got for your top pitcher?
Right, top pitcher. I'm gonna. You know what? To be different, I'll throw out with Ricardo Pinto for SK.
I like that. I like that pick a lot. Andrew?
I'd probably go with Choi, or that'll go all the way down for definitely on FanDuel. I'm going with Zhang. Like
it. Hitter. So I kind of want to steal more of y'all's picks after I saw it, but I did start out. I made the cheat sheet today, and I put Young Ho Park from Kim Woom on the cover. So I'm going to stick by my initial gut at 5,500 and toss him as my hitter. Pete, who you got?
Sung Bam Na.
That's 3,900 guy, right?
Exactly.
I was just reading it. Scott Boras is really happy with all the pub you're getting. I think,
he's a Boras guy?
That's what the DK note says. But
really,
I'm going to hit Scott Boras up and tell him, all this publicity we're giving him on the FSI preview that we expect to cut. It'll be good for business.
We did. We made the call on him on the first day one. I remember too. He was very low owned. Nobody knew who he was, and he was cheap. But I think he had the game went home on that night.
I think we definitely deserve some of the agent's bonus.
Yeah, right.
Andrew, what you got?
I'm going with a complete one-off here for SK, and I'm going for Han Dong Min. He already has multiple home runs this season. He's going up against a pitcher from LG who this is his first start, so gave up some power in some of his box scores from years past. So that's my guy.
I like that pick too. Actually, I like that pick.
I do. I like
it's got Dong in the name right there. He leads the league in home runs. So
and that's a nice little stack there. You got Romac, Choi, and Dong Min Han.
I like it
because those guys. I mean, Choi burned me last night. Once again, I was winning the 1 GP, and I had Choi up in the bottom ninth. He's like one of the best hitters in the league, and he still hasn't done anything yet. I think last night he had a walk and maybe hit my pitch with an RBI. So these guys are Romac's due to explode, Choi's due to explode. So Wyvern's are probably like my stack of the night too.
Well, good, because I get to kick off, and my stack was gonna be Doosan. You just so I do like that. I think locking in guys like him, and just I'm looking up and down their lineup, and they seem a little underpriced on DK for being the highest team total.
Yep.
And so Doosan is my stack. Who you got, Pete?
I am gonna stick with SK, just because of you got Dong Minhan, Jing Choi, Romac. And you can also throw a couple other guys in there. Jungwook Ko, Su Kwang No, and Wee Junjiang. So that gives you 6 guys, but it's going to be anchored by Romac, Choi, and Dong Minhan.
Love it. And Andrew, did we steal your thunder, or you got a stack?
I think we did.
No. I think I'm gonna go with Ki Woom against Buchanan. Like, he's got the 7.5 ERA. He looked terrible his first time out. He has the power. You have Seo, Kim, Lee, Byung Ho Park. I mean, there's a lot of good hitters on that team there. They're hitting well. I think that they might put up 10 tonight.
Yeah, I mean, and Buchanan can't miss bats. Like, he's not striking anybody out, so it's always a good thing.
Bullpen's not great either.
And you may get that stack low owned too, like you're saying. I like that stack more and more.
You think, though, as the biggest favorite on the slate, you think they're gonna be low owned?
Yeah, I just don't see Doosan tonight. I just don't.
Well, thanks for the hatred on my stack. Now I actually have a chance. Now I have a chance.
I just know Jung Choi is going to come up.
Yeah, maybe it was a complete anomaly, but Ju Wong So, the pitcher that are against for Lotte, had a really, really good game the first time out against a hard team.
Yeah, I mean, that game actually kind of is crazy. I mean, I had to check that total like 4 or 5 times because it just kind of jumped off at 10.5. So I'm kind of relying on the books a little bit on this, but we'll see how it goes. Do you all have any final thoughts for everybody before we jump off?
No, and you just mentioned Junwon Seo, and I'm remembering last week. So that's right. That's a sneaky little pick for a GPP right there.
Hey,
it's a good point.
There's a lot of
GPP pitcher.
It's one thing we've learned in KBO. Well, guys, appreciate the time. If you guys do want to get some more of this content and be able to talk to Andrew and Pete in the chat, you don't want to talk to me. Take their advice over me, but you can join our FSI Discord for free. There'll be a link in the show notes, whether you're listening on podcast or YouTube. It'll be there for you. Go to fsidfs.com. Everything is free while we all are down in COVID. Guys, once again, really thank you for the time. Good luck tonight, and take care.
Good luck, guys. Thanks.
Good luck, everyone.
All right. Thanks, guys.